Wow, Cody. Cody, where are you at? Let me see your beautiful face. Wow, new intro.
Beautiful.
I think what's lost on the people watching is oftentimes their first viewing is also my first viewing. And I'm a little upset, if I'm being honest with you. How come Fern got top billing on that? Why did Fern get the top spot on that intro right there?
I don't know. We'll take it up with Nate after this.
Seriously, Nate, if you're watching, I'm the star. It's best hour of their day. Jason Ackerman featuring Jason Fernandez. Also, is that the name of the show now? Are we calling it The Progression?
I mean, I think that's what we're gonna run with.
All right, I like it. We got a name. We got everything. Who am I? I'm just the star. And my co-star today, my co-pilot, if you will, sitting in our car in beautiful, snowy Massachusetts, Cristina Anderson. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Are you nervous?
Yeah.
As you should be. As you should be, because we are about to watch, like we did with Ryan last week. You have an entire class here. Let's get a little backstory about who you are, where you come from, all that good stuff. And let's say the following, just like I said to Ryan. The ball's on this one. Cody, the ball's on Cristina Anderson. Huge balls she has. Massive. Massive
Huge.
balls.
They're huge.
Huge. No, I mean, this is all. And for the record, let me tell you about the ball she has. You did not put this up expecting to get feedback on it, did you?
Not from you. Not in this setting. No.
Yeah, Cristina has been a long-time participant in our coach's development. She kind of just put it up there to be like, hey, guys, check this out. And I was like, I'm taking that. And by the way, I'm going to give you feedback live for the world to watch. And you didn't zero hesitation, right, Cristina?
Yeah.
Zero.
So
awesome. And I want to give a little backstory. Tell me what I'm allowed to say, what I'm not allowed to say.
That's fine.
So you have your level 3.
Correct.
You have your level 3, and are you signed up yet for the level 4 or just thinking about it?
I am signed up.
Okay, you are. When is it?
March.
Ooh, I didn't realize you're actually. So Ryan's going to pass February. You're going to pass in March.
Hopefully.
I'm going to be responsible for 2 of the first level 4s. I want to throw it out there. Let's not let that get glossed over. I'm responsible.
Okay.
So here's something I want to talk about. This is happening at, I want to say Medfield, is it?
So that's my new job. This recording is at the job that I am leaving at the end of the next week. So I'm still in Marshfield.
Marshfield.
Yeah. Yes.
And I don't want to get too deep into it, but because the owner of Marshfield is a dear friend. But let's put it this way. The values weren't being aligned for you and the owners. And, many coaches like to bitch and moan. And for the record, you did your fair share of bitching and moaning. However, I'm not lying about that, am I? However,
I learned a lot along the way. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, you're not losing your learning, but you made a big leap. You took the leap, and you're like, hey, I'm going to find a box that better suits my values, and you're there now, or you're going to be there, I should say.
Yeah.
And you did it in such a way that your relationship with your old affiliate is still strong.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, nothing to it but to get to it. Cody, share that screen, please. Like we did with Ryan, some of this we're going to watch, some we're going to talk about, but can you see the screen all right, Cristina?
Yep.
Do you like watching yourself?
No.
I hate it. We're currently redoing the coaching curriculum for Affiliate U, and I have to watch myself a lot. And I truly, as much as people think I enjoy talking about myself, I don't. I enjoy talking about myself, not watching myself talk.
Yeah. No. I want everyone.
Cody, can you make us smaller?
Alrighty, guys, come on up. Come on.
Move us to the
Make it
side.
weird.
Move us to the side.
Let's go. Come on up.
Yeah.
How weird? How weird? Come on up.
All right. What time of day is this class?
10 a.m.
All
Alrighty. right. How we doing? Happy Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Woo! Tuesday. All right. We got a good little
Hey,
workout today.
we always say
Quick
false motivation is better than
9
no
minute
motivation.
AMRAP of 3 handstand push-ups, 3 hang squat cleans, 6 handstand push-ups, 6 hang squat
Climbing.
cleans, 9 and 9, etc., etc.
How long was it?
Adding 9 3 minutes reps each round. So overall,
Open-esque.
we are looking to complete at least the round of 9, which is pretty doable, especially if we're scaling accordingly. So how should this feel? Going through the handstand push-ups, we're going to find...
Pause there. 3, 6, 9. Climbing by threes.
Yep.
For 9 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Handstand push-ups, and what was it? Power cleans?
Hang squat clean.
Hang squat cleans. What was the weight?
95-65.
Lightweight.
Yep.
95-65. You told them they should get through the 9s?
Well, we wanted them to focus on a more challenging handstand push-up with light and unbroken hang squat clean.
Was the standard for the handstand push-up like an open standard, like no deficit, just a handstand push-up?
Yes. Full range of motion in some scaled form.
Okay. My first thought is that that's not enough. 3, 6, 9, too easy. I probably would have challenged them to get to the 15s. I don't know enough about this workout. Haven't seen it. The 3s is going to take less than a minute. The 6s, 2 minutes, call it. We're at 3 minutes. The 9s, yeah, I would probably. And again, did you do this workout ahead of time?
I did not. No. Most people did get to the 15s anyway. But
okay, so
yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Cody, are you keeping track of how many times I'm right when I say something? You're gonna need another sheet of paper.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay. And again, that's just, we talked about it recently, yesterday with EC, Fern and I scaling, like experience doing, like, I don't need to do a workout anymore to know a little bit about it. And again, think about other workouts that are similar. Many of the CrossFit Opens have had that climbing by threes, and usually like that 15 to 18 is what we're shooting for. The best are in the 21s. And this is one of those examples where Fern's a big fan of it. I as well, like, hey, if you get to the 12s, here's how many reps you've done, right? So 21 and like the 12s is 30 reps. So not only am I telling you how many you've done, but I'm also telling you like, hey, 3 handstand push-ups doesn't sound like a lot. It's going to be 30, 40, etc. Be prepared for that.
Something that's challenging. However, we need to start and end with same.
Is this Maisley right here in the corner?
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's going to be our goal. Finding something that is going to provide a challenge, but that we can also keep consistent throughout. We're going to go through a bunch of different scaling options there and figure out what works for everybody as far as what's going to happen in the workout. Then onto the hang squat cleans. We're looking at a weight that is super light relative to your capacity here. You should be able to move through sets of 10 plus unbroken while you're fresh. It should feel that light.
So again, think about what you're saying. It should be so light you should go unbroken. However, you should only get through 9.
Right. No, 100%.
No, yeah. No, again, but for the listeners, right? Just it's look, obviously specific feedback there, but also just as a coach, think about what we're saying to our members. Like, hey, if we're telling them this should be light and easy, but telling them what their time should be, they need to relate to one another. Side note: are you at a whiteboard, TV? What are you at?
I'm at a whiteboard. Yeah. Sorry,
Cool.
the angle isn't good for this.
All good. I do like how close you brought them in close. They look to be fully engaged with you, which is really cool. And I think a lot of that has to do with the energy you brought them in with.
A little bit in the workout, be methodical about our plan sets, making sure we're moving through quality reps. The hang squat cleans are going to be fast. Those are there to get your heart rate up and make it harder. You shouldn't be held back by the weight. You should be held back by the fact that your heart rate.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good way to get them to think about it.
All right. So that said, a couple of non-negotiables. Like I said, with the handstand push-ups, whatever we start with, we finish with. So if all the wheels fall off, it's okay. We'll just cut the reps. We'll make a plan for our rep scheme going in, but you're going to stay with the same movement from beginning to end. On those hang squat cleans, just as a reminder, looks like this. So what we're looking for here is making sure we get that full range of motion in the squat and that we're in that nice solid front rack position, which will review.
So obviously can't see that, but I can tell what I like about it. You did it. You demoed. You didn't talk while demoing, and then you spoke after. Maybe it sounded like you only did 1 rep, maybe a second rep.
If so,
but
just let me know.
super nuanced
while
there.
I'm kind of coming around in the warm up, and I'll get you squared away. But is there any questions on the workout? No. All right. Well, you guys are very
No
obedient
questions.
today.
I like it. That means you've done
All
a
right.
good
So
job.
for our warm up,
Or they're afraid to ask you.
Here, starting with our push up to down dog. You guys know the drill, but you're
What's
gonna
Maisley
come
doing
into
over
big
here? Is he
push up all the way
contemplating
down,
life? What's going on?
all the way up.
What did he do over here?
He
That
had just
down dog.
finished
If
working
we need to
out.
skip,
Those of you that don't know, in the bottom corner there, that's the
Same
owner,
thing,
Joe
push up.
Maisley,
Yeah.
into that down dog.
longtime part of
And
seminar
we're gonna
staff,
grab a 10-pound
firefighter
plate.
extraordinaire.
We've got 6 plate ground to overhead. I just want you to think about.
Are you
6
demonstrating right now?
Yes.
Stand up strong. 6 of those, and then 3 plate around the world, both ways, going all the way around your head.
So think about this. Go ahead. I'm going to say go ahead. I'm talking to myself. What I was telling myself is let this video keep playing. Oh, there he goes. GHD subs. Think about this. Well, what I said something well you did. You did it. You demoed. Then you spoke after. During that portion, you were talking during. Look,
Yes.
it's not a hard and fast rule. It's just something to consider. But one thing I noticed, you were getting out of breath.
Yeah.
And I did an Instagram story before this, and I was out of breath from talking.
Yeah.
So imagine getting out of breath. You're moving as well,
Yeah.
right? So part of that is, hey, okay, we need to be aware of that. Did somebody just give us money? What happened?
Yeah, I think that's our first donation ever.
We got money?
Yeah, we got to pause the video for just a second. We gotta bring this up.
Somebody just Michael C. I've learned so much as a coach the
my
past few weeks,
gosh.
joining the weekly Zoom meet and doing the week. Wow. Michael C is my new best friend. First of all,
Seriously.
Cody, I'm considering getting rid of Fern and bringing Michael C on as my partner. I don't know if that's too premature. What do you think, Cody? He sounds like nicer. Fern's never given me $10. I can tell you that. Michael Caputo, nice Italian guy too. Nice, CrossFit Valley
Oh my
Center.
gosh, that's awesome.
All right, shout out to Michael C.
Michael,
Hey,
thank you.
anybody that wants to drop $10, we are taking it. We're taking it. We're going to put it to a good cause, and that is the Feed Ackerman Second Baby cause. And by so
I'll tell you what it won't get you though. It's not going to get you any praise in the middle of your coaching review if you happen to be on this
definitely
show.
not. Definitely not. You cannot buy praise. You cannot buy praise. All right, let's see. Thank you, Mike.
Ground to overhead, and then 3 each way of the arena.
Okay, talk to me about what the warm up is.
Here we go, team.
So they're moving for 3 minutes through 3 push-ups to downward dog stretch, 6 plate ground to overhead, and then 3 plate around the worlds each way.
3, 6. So basically 3, 6, and 6, right?
Yes, yeah.
Cool.
Does that feel okay, Heidi? That feels okay? All right, cool.
First of all, as you're all watching Cristina coach, I think what we've noticed last week with Ryan and with you this week, presence and attitude, we don't even have to talk about, right? Like it's through the roof. Your energy is high. You appear to be screaming. If I'm being honest, like you're not.
It's just so close to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, energy and excitement is through the roof, and your members feel it. Like they're doing great because of it. And we had one of our small group calls this morning, and who was it? It was JR. JR is preparing for his level 4 as well, and he's like, man, I'm coaching every class like it's my level 4, and you are absolutely right. Like 2 in a row, I'm smashed. Like I can't do more than 2 in a row, and that's how it should be. Like I guarantee, from what I'm seeing, you want to take a nap after this. Am I right?
Yes,
You just want to curl up in a ball in your car there and be like, please, no one talk to me ever again. Right? So I love that. Here's feedback. Way too spread out for this, right?
Yes.
They don't need any room. They should be in nice and tight because your energy is high. The closer you bring them in, the higher that energy feels.
Okay.
And if you had those boxes going, if you had something going on at the rig, we need to spread out a little bit. But for something like this, let's make it a little fun. Like partner up with someone, look across from them, right? You can turn this into a you go, I go. Like I get that it's 3-6-6, but it's like, hey, one person grab the plate, do 3, the other person doing push-ups to down dog, like all sorts of ways to make this a little more energetic and just keeping it tight together. But 3 minutes, I love it. I don't know what that dude in the red is doing. What's he doing? What's happening? Who is that guy?
That wasn't around the world, I think.
That was around the head. Meanwhile, Maisie's still doing GHD sit-ups in the corner here. So while Christina's doing this, let's tell a Maisley story. He's going to be upset, but I'll tell it anyway. Open workout, thrusters, and rowing. I don't remember what that year was. But Maisley was a part of Reebok CrossFit, worked with Austin Malleolo, Denise Thomas. Rumor is Maisley comes in, crushes the workout, and from what Austin Malleolo says, it's like his time should still be going because he doesn't think he ever locked out the last thruster, but he finished the workout and immediately drove himself to the hospital and gave himself rhabdo.
Oh my God.
So that's your Joe Maisley story. That's what happens. Like really fit human being, firefighter, coming off shift. Like you got to be smart. He did the Normatec for like an hour beforehand, which is, a crushing thing, which as we know from studying rhabdo, right? So you got to be smart. All right, wrapping up this. So, and again, little things that I point out, like they have a reason. If those people were kept tighter in the general warm-up, well, look where those bumpers are. They're already closer to there, right? They're closer to the next thing. And I think you're doing a fantastic job thus far with the timeline, but a minute here, a minute there really adds up. The nice thing about this workout today is, because you're only doing the workout, right? There's no second piece?
Correct.
So really, we have to start this workout at essentially like 50 minutes, like more than that to get a cool down in. So you're going to do a boatload of coaching right now. But again, more coaching is more coaching. So, coaches just always think about that. Like a minute here, a minute there may not seem like a lot to you, but some of these people, this is their only hour of exercise. Yep. So we're only giving them 60 minutes a day. We know we're going to zap some of that with whiteboard briefs, with some moving around, but let's maximize, move more, talk less when it comes to coaching. Nice. Showing some scaling options.
And we have one major focus today with the handstand push-up. That is the position of our head and our hands. I want everybody to come down to their knees. Right behind your box.
You hear what she said, Cody?
Now from here, you're going to place your hands.
Cody's still running the high on that $10. I can tell you. Cody is still like, Cody, I'll tell you what, 10% of that, that's for you, baby. You're doing a great job, co-host. 10%.
$1.
Hey, you got to start somewhere, my friend.
Bring your head a little bit further forward.
But no, what you said was I'm giving you one thing to think about. And that was, head here, hands there, and I love it.
Come on up. So that is the position that we need to maintain with our head and our hands through every single step of this progression. Okay, so again, if you guys want to stand up, that pike push-up. And
you're saying, hey, I don't care where you wind up being in this progression, this is a focus. And it's true.
Like so. So go ahead, start with a nice wide stance. Let's make this as easy as possible to start. We can make it challenging from here. Now place your hands on the floor. On my go, you're going to send elbows back.
So I know you've got them spread out because I imagine one of the next steps of this progression is going to be the box. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes. And then
Going
ultimately,
Yep.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
Well, ultimately, so the barbells end up being in the center of the room. So I was thinking about the whole,
And, Cody, you put up a video recently of me coaching at Rife. CrossFit Rife has a similar, setup where there's bars on both sides. And one of the things Fern said about my coaching was I brought everybody to one side, even though plenty of space. The reason I do it is kind of what I'm seeing here. You're having to travel a lot. You're having to go back and forth. Now, again, running the workout with the bars in the middle, which we'll see in a moment, I'm sure, makes sense because now I'm not worried about bars getting dropped on people inverted doing handstand push-ups. However, until they get to the box, which is happening now, I still think there's an opportunity to keep them in close.
I would
Yeah.
even say whenever they get to the box, if we had them partnered up, one could be on one side, one could be on the other, and then you just have one kind of line of athletes to watch and correct as you go. Another thing is while you're demonstrating here in the middle, I mean, we're still in the middle of a warm up, right? Like, grab all of them. Like, hey, everybody come in tight to me. I need you to come to me right now, right? And
Yeah.
now I need you to pay attention, nice and close. Now spread back out, and then you can go back out and do your thing again.
Absolutely. You know, that's a valid point, Cody. Like, bringing people in is always good. Now, I will say you are doing a fantastic job of group management, especially considering how far apart they are. Like, I'm not seeing anyone not paying attention. So kudos to that, because you're only making your job harder, really.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, again, talking a lot about the level 4 assessment, I've not seen it. I don't know what's exactly going to be looked for on the level 4. All I can tell you is the CrossFit way is the CrossFit way, right? And a lot of this is like, cool, like let's keep people in tighter, let's for group management purposes, etc. So we can still refine these little things.
If you want to get in a couple reps there. So all of those options are options for the workout. Again, I want to reiterate, if you can get your head to the floor, that's the option I want you to choose, okay? If we're working towards capacity on that pike push-up, we can grab one ab mat and try to reach our head to that. And I'll touch base with you in 1 second. But from here, we're going to get upside down a little bit.
Okay.
So,
and I like what you said. I think oftentimes scaling of handstand push-ups becomes like an absurd amount of ab mats.
Yes.
And it's like the range of motion becomes nothing. So I like what you said. Like, the goal is to get your head to the floor. One mat is acceptable. That's it. And that's not because if we fail at the margins of our experiences. If we don't work that range of motion, we'd never work that range of motion. So I like that a lot. Very rarely, barring injury, should the scaling of handstand push-ups be range of motion. What you've done is say, hey, range of motion standard is set. I'm essentially alleviating some weight by going pike.
Better handstand and negative demonstrator than I. So JT is going to demonstrate a kick up into a handstand,
and
then he's going to demonstrate.
Going back to what Cody said, you've done it now. Like, come on in.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about this with you. You've got somebody else demonstrating.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Why do you have someone else demonstrating?
Thank you. All three in one.
Because when I can do a handstand push-up negative, but when I do, I don't have enough control. And I wanted them to really see like a slow and controlled lower down as the standard.
I love it. I think.
Arms up overhead.
What? What is happening? What is happening? Cody's just got $5.
Show them how. Oh, you got another $5. It's me. It's me. Oh, come on. What about me?
It says for Cody.
That's what I'm talking about, Michael.
Wow. Look at you, Cody. You just earned yourself a little raise here. But big picture,
here I am thinking it was about me.
It's never about you.
Nice, Mike.
I want to talk about this because this is a really important point that we're kind of like brushing over. Look, I don't care where anyone is in their fitness journey, you're going to have a movement you struggle with, right? Unless you're the fittest in the world, even those watching, like, I can do just about everything RX. When a strict muscle up comes up, I'm not the best at it, but or when someone's watching and they're like, I can do everything. Like, how's your handstand walking? How's this? There's going to be movements that you struggle with. And I think the fear factor for a lot of people is, well, I can't coach. I can't do this, this, and this. That's bullshit. We can all coach. You own it. You're like, hey, and I heard you say it. Like, she's better at this. I don't know if it was a guy or a girl.
A guy. That's okay. Yeah.
But you're like, he's better at this than me. Cool. Now, the only caveat to that, two caveats. One, as a coach, be working on that. Don't be the coach 7 years later and you're like, I'm working on my squat like this. Like, cool. I've never seen you in the corner doing squat therapy, right? So, like, you got to lead by example. And the second caveat to that is, and I don't know, my question to you is, did you confer with was it JT? I want to say his name?
JT, yes.
With him prematurely, like, hey, I'm going to have you demo.
Yes, I did.
Okay, awesome.
Yes.
And then it's not just, hey, I'm going to have you demo. Here's what I'm going to say. Here's what I'm looking for. We talked about this.
Yes.
I think it was one of our small group calls for Affiliate U, but it was like, demonstration is not just you move well. Like, that's the easy part. A lot of demonstration is like, can you move poorly when you need to show? Because visual cues are like, here's what you're doing, here's what I'm doing. So I need, demonstration works both ways.
Yeah.
Just work on the.
Christina, I couldn't tell, but did you have anybody that could not kick up through the wall in this class?
Yes, and so right when I told him to come over the wall, I said, if you are working on the ability to get upside down, go grab some dumbbells. And they are all standing in a line. I mean, it's not really a clean line, but they are working on there's Bob right there going up, overhead dumbbell holds while others are on the wall. And then negative, like a slow lower down of the dumbbell.
Right.
Did you mute? Am I muted? Am I muted?
No.
No.
You muted me. I saw you muted me, Cody.
No, I muted your screen.
Oh, I feel like ever since you got that $5, you're a different person. I feel like you're arrogant now.
All I'm saying is nobody else on this team has gotten money donated directly to them.
Next week is going to be Top Billing Cody Loveless featuring Jason Ackerman. But here's something I want to point out. And this is super common on and this is the challenge of coaching. The more complex gymnastic movements, this happens. Because look at these two women right here. You got, what's his name, Bob?
Yeah, in the red. Yeah.
I just guessed. I don't know. He looks like a Bob. That's
He does.
Around the world, right? Like, because you have so much disparity from RX to scaling, like we lose people.
Yeah.
This is a true challenge of coaching. Like, how do I keep Bob, this woman, these two that are chatting engaged? Because the challenge is they can't do the movement yet. They're struggling to do it. And that's struggling. That's not the right word. They're working towards it. But the truth is some of them are not working towards it. I guarantee you have people in this class who are like, I don't give a shit if I ever do a handstand push-up.
Yep.
Right? So it's like, well, okay, hey guys, here's why you need to do this. Right? Like if you can push your body weight up, I'm not worried when you got to take something to the top shelf, or if you fall down and you're disoriented, you know where you are, right? So giving them that understanding of like the value of this movement. I once heard Joe DeGain, a longtime flow master on seminar staff, talking about, somebody's like, why do we ever use the agility ladder? And on the spot, he was kind of like, I don't know. If grandma can use the agility ladder, I'm a little less concerned that she's going to fall down and not be able to get back up. Like, is that a perfect science? No. But that's the whole point of these like functional movements. People can argue all day long, you don't need this much capacity here. You'll never need to do a handstand push-up. Maybe. Will you ever need to squat 315, 365 in the real world? Probably not. But if you can squat 365 at the box, I'm not really concerned what life is going to throw at you. That's what functional fitness is all about, folks. All right. Rant over, soapbox, back down. I just had to take back over to show people like I'm in charge, not Cody, because you got $5, Mike. Let the record show. I got 10. Let the record show.
I think the show got 10.
The show got 10. All right. So what are we working? What was this drill on the wall for? And why is this guy doing rope climbs? Oh, he's just pulling himself back up. Dude, that's a perfect example, right? Like, hell, like, that was a great example of, like, I don't need to do rope. Oh, like, what if I'm literally somewhere and, like, I've fallen, hurt my leg, and, like, there's a rope or a twig or whatever. It's like, you can argue till you're blue in the face you don't need to do a rope climb. I hope in your life you never are forced to do a rope climb. Sure. But if you can do one inside your affiliate, life is a lot easier for you.
Yeah.
What was that drill for?
So that was a kipping drill, and I purposefully put it in there because it was like everybody has the capacity to do it. And I think it's just nice to like touch on it for the advanced athletes, but in a way that everybody could participate.
I love it. I think that's a fantastic idea. Like, hey, this is high skill. You're probably not going to do this in the workout, but guess what? That doesn't mean you can't do it.
Right.
And in fact, if you do these drills and you have this skill now, when the time is right, you're going to be able to do handstand push-ups. You've dangled that proverbial carrot.
Yes.
I love it.
That's it, Michelle. How does that feel on the wrist?
You know, I'm going to go back to what I've said earlier. I just think one thing that I'm seeing, the spread of the class.
Yes.
So how about this? Consider this next time.
If you have any further questions,
Because you are yelling, right? You're mic'd, but you have to be loud. You're not
Yeah.
screaming like it's not your mom voice, but it's like you're talking loudly.
Yeah.
Consider this. What if we put the boxes together and the bars were on the outside?
Yeah. That would be much better.
I don't know, I'll say much better. It's level 4, right? It's a $10 contribution
Right.
versus a $5 contribution, but that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for, Cody. Cody, why don't you I want you on the intro next time, Cody, by the way. Nate, if you're still watching, I want featuring Cody Loveless on next week's introduction. It's like Saturday Night Live. You're like a part-time player, Cody.
A part-time player. We'll make it happen.
All right. It's always one dude. I'm like, I'm gonna put my bar right in the middle here.
you're behind a cone.
How old's Bob? Bob could be like 50 or 100. I can't tell.
Yeah. He's in his 60s, early 60s, I
He's
think.
doing all right. He's making it.
Yeah. Retired cop.
Yeah. Shout out to Bob. Shout out to Bob.
Christina, question real quick.
Yeah.
You have an athlete over there on the far right that's using only dumbbells and no barbell. What's going on there?
Correct. She has like a really wicked bad flare up of tennis elbow right now. So she just went single arm and dumbbell for this workout.
All right. So follow up on that is, did you know that whenever she walked into the class? Because I didn't hear you ask for limitations or injuries at the whiteboard brief. So is that just something that you knew about this athlete whenever she walked in?
Yes, I did.
And that's a good coaching, right? Like, I think we said it to Ryan last week, right? He didn't ask for injuries either. And I think we tend to know our athletes. Like, how often do you coach this 10 a.m. class?
Every day.
You know your people.
Yeah.
Now, what I will say is, like, from 11 a.m. to 10 a.m., you don't know what happened in their life, right? So,
right.
And not everyone. Great movement, by the way.
Thank you.
See that squat plane? That was legit. But you don't know what happened in the last 23 hours. Like, Bob, when he was active cop, like, did he hurt himself doing and not everyone wants to tell you, but asking, even when you ask for the record, they're not going to tell you always.
Right.
And that's what this specific warm-up is all about. Well, let me pause because I do want to see this. I do want to say, why is it tennis elbow? Like, how often is the person with tennis elbow actually a tennis player?
So I actually do know the answer. So there's tennis elbow and golfer's elbow.
Yeah, I understand that. Like,
it depends. Yeah.
back in the day, but it's just tendonitis, right?
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's just what they.
Because I've had tennis elbow. I don't play tennis.
Right.
So.
But it's just that motion of like when they hit a forward swing.
Yeah.
That's the motion, or it's actually a backhand, I think.
You might be a world-class pickleballer, though.
True that, but it was my left elbow. And I, for the record, I was the varsity captain of my tennis team 4 straight years, freshman through senior year. That's how I was destined to be a great tennis player. Turns out even tennis is limited by your height. Even tennis, you need to be a little taller. There's an angle. There's like that type of thing going on. So I'm really anxious to see this. We're about the workout calls for hang squat cleans. I want you to talk me through this progression as you're teaching it.
Okay. So first thing, we're just going over the setup.
So you mentioned this woman. What about this woman in blue? For the dumbbells.
In blue. Yeah, that's Heidi with the tennis
then you have
elbow.
the other one over here using dumbbells. The far right.
Oh, yep, same exact thing. Something going on with
doubles.
her elbow.
They playing doubles or something?
No, we actually have like 3 or 4 athletes with elbow things right now, and I do think that that's kind of a blanket that doctors like. Oh, you have tennis elbow.
Tennis elbow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think I see it a lot in CrossFit. Like if you're
Yeah.
gonna get an injury, it's probably like you got a little flare up of the elbows.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I want you guys to trace up your body, elbows high. Punch those elbows through. Good. One more time. Up and through.
Okay.
Keeping that bar nice and close, right? So if Jamie picks up her bar to do her hang clean, if I stand right here,
Ooh, I like this.
theoretically she won't hit me.
Theoretically.
Right?
Theoretically. Oh, you didn't trust her.
Theoretically, that's cool. So we're gonna get in that same setup. On my go, you're going to stand, zip, and punch those elbows through. And go.
So they're doing a hang muscle clean here?
There we go.
Correct.
Now, stay here for a second, guys.
Yeah.
Stay here. Everybody loosen up your fingertips a little bit. Drive those elbows up hard. That's our finish position here.
Okay.
Beautiful. So now, bring your elbows down. Come back into that setup.
Again, words matter when it comes to coaching. You said everybody loosen up your fingertips a little bit, drive those elbows up hard. Did everyone need to loosen up their fingertips in order to achieve that?
Probably
Right?
not everybody.
Like,
Yeah.
Just always, as coaches, think about that. Like, am I throwing this bomb out there, a grenade? Because I know most of you, like, is it wrong? Absolutely not. Like, do most of those people, like this dude Bob, this other guy in the gray, like, of course. Like, but for me, I'll tell you what, when I have a hook grip, I can get those elbows up as high as you want. Like,
Yeah.
And I'm sure Cody's the same. This dude, I'm not just saying that you're strong. You're strong, Cody. I've seen you working out. Check him out at Cody Loveless. He posts. You haven't been doing it much. Is it because you're so busy? Now that you're hustling for that $5, you don't have time to work out anymore.
I mean, constant things on my plate over here.
You were at the gym yesterday when I talked to you.
Nice, hide your chest up a little bit harder. And go. Nice, Steve. Great finish position with those loose fingers. Come back
Okay.
down. We'll do one more here. Nice setup, Mike. That's it. Knees back.
Okay, so this is what we're looking at. Same thing we spoke a lot, and this is going to be the theme for those of you that submit. I know Cody mentioned earlier, if you want to submit your video, let us know because we're already booked out through what, February 16th, Cody, now?
The 9th at least, but I
Oh,
think
no, we have one
16th.
more. JR's doing the 16th now.
Okay.
Most of the feedback ultimately should come down to this portion, right? Seeing and correcting.
Yeah.
What's, if I were to take a snapshot of this, other than this woman not being set up yet, what do we see? Like looking around, we have 4, 8, you have 16 people in this class. Is that right? Maybe 17.
Yes. 16 or 17. Yeah.
Yeah. Essentially during this portion, like I can give out infinite number of cues. It's a matter of how long do I want to make these people suffer in this static position. But as coaches, this is where we can make our money, right? Static position, drive those knees out, straighten those arms, lift that chest. So let's see about the cues you're giving out for each rep.
Back a little bit, Mora. And go. Yes, Mora, way to keep that bar close. A little bit faster next time. Go ahead and set it.
I like that. Follow up.
Darn
Give her
it.
one more thing to
Go
think
ahead and
about.
Set down the bar. Good work, guys. Right, from here, the front squat. Right, front squat as a reminder. Looks like this.
What'd she do well, Cody? Tell me.
So you guys are gonna get set up.
Well, so far, I mean, she's literally demonstrating every single piece
That's
of
it, right?
of the progression.
I'm not
all the way
taking for
through.
granted you know what a front squat is. Here's what it looks like. Because
Yeah.
Yep.
this lady's here for her third class, right? You're coaching the 10 a.m. You're subbing for Cristina. She's never seen a front squat. Every time you have a step into progression, get in front and demonstrate.
Right. Bring your hands a little bit wider if you can, Bob. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Reset.
Bob, you
Now
gotta take
walk
that
out
tip
to the squat stance, guys.
At what
Everybody
point, Cody,
go ahead and squat down and hold.
do we change
That's
this
good.
for
You wiggle the
Bob?
toes a little bit, get that chest up, and stand.
That's a great question.
Nice, keeping those elbows.
So
up.
I don't know.
for me, like I would be looking at the static position at the very top, right? If I can't get him into a good elbow position from the very beginning, we know it's only going to get worse as he starts to squat. So if I can't get him where I want to right out of the gate, then I'm probably going to change it right from the get-go.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's no right or wrong. This is very individualized. I agree with you. It's not going to get better when it looks like that as you go down. Will putting 5 pounds on that bar help him? Yeah, it's masking the greater, deficiency. But, when do we give him towels to hold on to? When do we allow him to squat with the I Dream of Genie? When does he get dumbbells? I'm just thinking about it. I'm thinking also for you, Cristina, you get 17 strangers coming into, for your level 4. You don't know them.
Yeah.
Would they want you to be like, hey, is this, we go back to CrossFit, right? The methodology, safety, efficacy, efficiency. Is he safe? Let's see. That doesn't look terrible. I wouldn't argue that he's in danger there.
When you get to here, Larissa, just move
I think
back.
for me, what I look for is the bar on his body.
I like that versus being supported by his wrist.
Correct. So he is able to get the bar on his body, even though his elbows aren't ideal. To me, that's why I think it's okay.
Okay, I don't disagree. Okay, going back to again,
Mid-thigh, last one, guys. Good work.
group management. Now, I think we've kind of unraveled another issue with this setup. And again, not to belabor it, but I'm just,
okay.
there's no right or wrong, but you are now kind of trapped in the front of this room, right? Where if the boxes were in the middle, you would have two paths to walk up and down and the perimeter. But right now, you don't even have a perimeter because the boxes are there.
Right.
Because I'd be anxious to see as we go through this progression how much you wind up going through the middle of the class.
Right. One thing I wanted to bring up was I've only seen you move to the right side of the room so far.
Yeah.
Right. Instead of moving your way over to the left. Now, one of the benefits of having your class in this format with the lines is if you are cueing someone, like you're right next to them, you have an opportunity for a tactile cue right there and immediately can give 3 different visual cues straight down that line.
Yeah.
But that has to be it has to be a very conscious effort.
And there you go, a little bit walking. And here's the thing, like, I would imagine if we watch 5 of Christina's classes, she's in different like areas each class, depending on the setup. Like she's not always going to this section, but it is I see this all the time. It's like we get in our habit for that class and that's where we go. And it's primarily just predicated on how did I set them up? So it goes back to like, hey, you're going to coach a class. We need to think, and I know for the level 4, they're going to give you the workouts in advance. Like we need to be aware and thinking about like, what is the setup going to look like? What position will I be able to see and correct even more? So now they're going to be loading.
Yes.
And then you have a test round.
Right, Heidi?
So, and
okay. Are you sure?
What'd you tell them to do for loading for this, for the warm-up?
3 sets of 5, and you should be at your workout weight by set 2.
Right. Well.
And then then a third set at the workout weight?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like that because I think sometimes when it comes to loading, 95, 65, like I can speak for both Cody and myself. There's no set between that bar and 95.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
right? It's a light load. And even if it was 135, we're probably also still going right. So
there's no step between me and 225. What are you talking about?
Well, you're still in your 20s, dude. So setting that standard, like, hey, I need 1 set between this and your working weight. I don't care, you 95, you 65-pound people. I still want a light set 5. Then I want 2 sets at your working weight. Good to go.
More in your setup, Katrina. So like butt to the wall.
Now, I do want to bring up a small nuance because we talked about it a little bit last time. It's leakage. Did you, whenever you asked them to load their barbells, did you give them a time frame?
No, I didn't.
So it's like just a group management trick, right? Is either use the clock or start a fresh clock. If you've got a clock running, then you can tell them like, we need to have our bars loaded by X time. But that'll help make sure that the class is back. And even then, you're probably still going to have some leakage. It's like we talked about last time. If you give them 4 minutes, they're going to take 5. If you give them 5 minutes, they're going to take 7. And then all of a sudden, you're running behind.
Yeah, and I'm thinking you can run it as an imam. Hey, guys, at 1 minute, we're doing our first set of 5. At 2 minutes, we're doing our next. So, like, go grab some weights. You have 1 minute. Be back here. Right? Like, that's cool. And I think to what Cody's saying, and same with Ryan last week, it's like, sometimes we look at a workout like it's only 9 minutes. I've got all this time. And it's like very quickly that time can, disappear on you. It's not, for the record. Like you're still way ahead of where you need to be. Even at 33 minutes in, it's a 9-minute workout. Like I would tell you, you should be starting it at probably like 42, 43, which I think you'll do because we still need to revisit handstand push-ups and then get that practice round in. Quick bathroom break. So you're still where you need to be, but like Cody said, it's like leakage here and there is just more time to move. Also keep in mind, like while we promote like, hey, 1 workout a day, that doesn't mean like we can't do some skill work after. We can't do a burner. We can't. Hey guys, you got 8 minutes now. Work up to your best squat clean. Like it's not like never do a second piece. It's just make sure it makes sense.
Yeah.
And also don't do it every time because that's no longer variance. Big picture, you've not stopped coaching. Big picture, right? It's still nonstop with people.
Yeah, that's it, Dan. Solid. Just a little wider stance. That's all. Nice job. Right, guys. Getting in those 3 sets of 5, and then don't go far.
Also, keep in mind for the viewers, you were not filming this expecting us to watch it.
Fun round.
So
No, yeah, I thought people in the group would, but yeah.
right, what that tells me is simply turning the camera on brings your A game out.
Nice regrip, too.
Like film yourself, even if you're not going to submit it to us, even if you're never going to watch it, like you know what you did, and you may watch it, and you can give yourself feedback, like that way. Like we talk about with class evaluations, make it binary. Did I do this? Yes or no? Did I do that? Yes or no?
Belly, Mara, in the bottom. Squeeze that belly.
And I think, again, going back to,
Hips back more when you.
and now that I know more about it, it was this woman and then the woman that was over here who were kind of standing around during because they have an injury or they're dealing with something. Like it's a challenge, and this is not a knock on the coaching. It's a challenge when someone's hurt or someone just isn't going to load up. It's like, how do I keep them engaged for the next 5 minutes, knowing they're going to go a 15-pound dumbbell or they're going to and that might be like, hey, this woman in pink, Heidi, every minute, give me 10, every 30 seconds, give me X. Like, give her something, make her feel like, hey, I'm still here. Because otherwise, from an owner perspective, those are the people that, okay, I'm not going to come tomorrow because it's this workout. And I'm not going to come Friday. All of a sudden, you don't see them for 2 weeks. All of a sudden, they're no longer members, right?
Once you have your weight on your bar, head to your hands.
I feel the same about having a drop-in. How many? I made sure I was on point. Yeah, Corey. It's like you have a drop-in, and you're like, I want to show these guys how fucking awesome I am, right? Like, I used to, love when my members would go to a different affiliate because I'm like, yeah, it's like dating someone. They're like, I want to see what's out there. Go ahead, see what's out there. You ain't got a guy like this waiting for you back home. You ain't got me, right? And it's the same with your affiliate. Like, go check it out. You're gonna come crawling back. I tell that to Roz all the time. Go away for a week. You'll be crawling back here.
Little run through. Okay, guys, listen up.
You know what I'm talking about,
2
Cody.
rounds.
Say that to Shayna.
2.
Shayna, go see what's out there. You think the men out there have this mustache like me?
No, actually, I don't want her to go anywhere.
Smart move.
It should be pretty comfortable with what we've chosen. All right. Questions? After this, we'll take a break. I promise.
I love it.
All right. So.
I like the break
2
after the
rounds,
build-up.
2 handstand push-ups.
Telling you like, hey, I know you're gonna be out of breath.
3,
You're gonna have a break.
1,
What was this?
go.
Two rounds of 2 and 2. So 2 handstand, 2, yeah.
I like it. And again, think about what we talked about this last week. It's your opportunity. Like you're eyeballing this dude, making sure he's got a good weight. Yeah. But you're also like looking around, like, is anyone in it? Because we got this dude doing handstand push-ups. If someone drops a bar, that's the end game, right? So it's more about like, hey, does everyone have good weight on the bar? Does everyone have proper scaling option? Is no one gonna die? Will we get flagged for music ever, Cody, if we play this?
Yeah, if it picks it up for longer than like 8 seconds.
Cool. Good to know. I would like to take this woman's stance wider.
Jamie in the front, blue pants.
Yeah, blue pants.
Yeah.
I think Bob is on the line of needing something different. I think it's close.
Yeah.
It's light enough.
I agree.
Right. And again, I think for everyone watching here, like that's the beauty of CrossFit, the beauty of coaching. Like a lot of this is subjective, right? Like I don't know Bob as well as Cristina does. I've seen him move this for the last 30 minutes, right? Like there are some things where it's like, this is right, this is wrong. And and going back to yesterday's podcast with EC, if I scale Bob to dumbbells every time we clean, Bob no longer can clean a bar. So finding that balance, and that might be, hey, Bob, warm up with a bar, workout, do this. Bob, one rep per round bar, then only front squats. Like lots of options there. We talked about it yesterday. You're only limited by your own creativity.
Now, if you want to do that, I would change the reps.
Oh,
maybe
like
your
eavesdropping.
workout becomes the 3, 4, 5 option, or even just staying at 3 the whole time.
Good.
And these increase.
We talked about that. That's exactly what EC brought up yesterday.
I've actually
Yep.
never seen you do
Why'd
that
you?
before, so that's
What did
awesome.
I couldn't see his movement there in the corner. Why'd you do that?
So he chose a variation of the handstand push-up that was inverted, which is something he's never done. But even just watching him do one, it was like, all right, that's really hard for him. So I wanted to encourage him to do it.
Yeah,
especially since even though it was probably off base, just saying like, hey, I want you to get through the 9s. I mean, as you pointed out, that's not hard to do. But he has an opportunity to do that with this more challenging option.
Yeah, because and EC said it yesterday. Like, don't forget the goal of scaling is not. Yeah, Nikki Sharp gave you a shout out. It's not just preserving the stimulus, because he didn't need you to change the movement. Like, well, he's already changed the movement. We're preserving the stimulus of the handstand push-up. It's also, am I advancing this guy?
Yes.
Like, here's another way you lose members. The same members come in for 3 years doing the same version of handstand push-ups. They're not sticking around forever. Like, they can make the same progress at the 24-hour gym across the street. That's $10, right? So you now challenge him, and guess what's going to happen next time? It's going to be a little closer. Next time, a little closer. So I think that was fantastic. And again, going back to, we literally said that yesterday. EC said it.
Are you gentlemen feeling good on your handstand push-up and all that?
I like
we
that.
have less than 1 minute, guys.
A little check-in. A little
workout time.
We'll keep the sound off during the workout, right, Cody? Because there's going to be music.
Yeah, keep the sound off or really low. I'm actually really impressed. There was nobody in this room, and you said we had 1 minute left, and now they're scattering.
Slowly coming back.
That looks solid. So that is definitely going to be a more challenging option. So if you want to change the reps up and go 3, 4, 5 instead of 3, 6, 9, you can, or just break it up. Just break it up from the get-go.
The one more layer to that is,
Guys,
I feel like I want to hear the 3, 2, 1 goes. Let me pause. I would like to see that be a little more direct.
Yeah. Okay.
Not like, you can do this. Like, she now doesn't know what she's doing, and she's going to decide mid-workout. Versus like, Sally, I think you did a better job with Bob at that. But like this woman over here,
yeah.
Like, hey, you're doing this. Like, I was like, you're walking around, you're the doctor. Here's your prescription, Sally. Here's your prescription, Bob. Here's yours. Here's yours. Like, everyone's getting, unique programming for the same workout.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I think you said it in regards to cueing last time, but keep coaching binary, right?
Yeah.
Like, I want it to be, this is what you're doing.
Yeah, and ultimately, like, these people are paying us. They're not paying us to tell us what to do. They're paying us to tell them what to do. We're the pro. You're the level 3. You're the one preparing for it. Like, and I'm not saying it like in a negative way, but it's like, own that. We all need to own that. Like, this is my office for the next hour. You're going to all listen, because it works both ways. Like, no, dude, you're not doing that weight today. Right? You're not ready. Like, and you don't say it like that, right? Like, hey, I'd love to see you go 85 instead, because I really want you to go for 9 unbroken today. I want you to get into those 12s, right? That's very different. But point is, like, be a little more direct with our coaching there.
I know, it's cute. Head to where you're doing your handstand push-ups, guys. Workout begins on the handstand push-ups. Okay. Yeah, I'll stall. Do my joke, my funny.
This is what happens. We're getting ready. But at the same time, if I think going back to what you did, if you're like 10 seconds, everyone comes running in.
All right, guys. So we should all be where we're performing our handstand push-up option. As a brief review, the workout is 9 minutes on the clock, 3 handstand push-ups, 3 hang squat cleans, 6, 6, 9, 9, 12, and etc. What is going on over there? So, my little advice to you for strategy. break up the handstand push-ups. Choose rest before rest chooses you.
Good.
Okay, have a plan, stick to it. Hit the hang squat cleans hard, right? Those are meant to jack up the heart rate. Spend your time breaking up those handstand push-ups. Yeah? Looking to finish that round of 9 or more? We ready?
So one thing I would add to that, I think that was good. I think you gave him a strategy, which is nice. I think before every workout, you do exactly. Hey guys, just remember, here's the workout. Not like I'm just giving you one last refresher on it. The only thing I would add to that is, I lost my train of thought. Cody, just lost it. I was so ahead of it. Yeah, choose rest before rest chooses you. Oh, here's what I was going to say. Throughout class, because you told them to break up the handstand push-ups, a little more clarity on like, hey, if your best set is X, maybe because otherwise you're gonna have like someone whose best set is 9, they're gonna smoke themselves on the round of probably 6, if not 9 for sure, right?
Yeah.
So like, hey, if your best set is 9, I never want you doing more than 4 in a row, right? So giving them a little more, again, that goes back to the prescription. Like, hey Bob, what's your best set? I've done 4 in a row. Okay, you're never doing. If that were the case, you're probably scaling, right? But thinking about like, hey, I'm giving you very specific things what to do. Choose rest before rest. For the record, Corey and Nikki, she got that from me.
All right, guys, let's get a little
That true?
high 5, fist bump. Good luck.
I don't know.
Have fun.
Maybe.
Check my Instagram.
10 seconds on the clock, team. 9 minutes.
All right, I'm gonna turn it down. We're gonna watch the coach, and we're gonna watch these.
2, 1, go.
All right, mom voice on. Okay, let's see. So you always see this in handstand push-ups. I can coach this pike all day long. Like this dude right here was still a little bit too extended for my liking. It was the first rep, so you didn't have an opportunity to coach him yet.
Yeah.
But keeping an eye on him for that. And I'd love to be able to hear this.
There we go. Good work.
Okay, cool. And really what we're looking for here during the workout, like this isn't where you're going to get the most coaching, and it's going to be a lot of verbal cues. It's going to be a lot of good cheerleading, especially in minutes 7, 8. Like when people are starting to, it was like Ryan had handstand push-ups last week. Like when people are failing at handstand push-ups, now is not the time to be like, come on, you can go.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking like, what's the energy like? What are you coaching still? Are you still getting in front of people? And thus far you are. Now, that's not to say we're not trying to get people moving better, but we've done the bulk of our coaching. Now we've got 9 minutes of like, let's make this fun and exciting.
There you go, JT. This thing kick up and at the wall. A little bit better. There you go.
And if I were to give you feedback on the cueing thus far, and I don't know, Cody, if you were paying attention, I think it's primarily been verbal.
Yeah.
Whereas we want to be up here.
Yeah, a lot of verbal.
Now, let's throw in the next factor in there is we're doing hang squat cleans and handstand push-ups. I don't know how tactile you're going to be on those, right? So makes sense with these two movements. Most of your day will be verbal. But I will say, like earlier on, we talked about those static positions for the elbows, targets, lifting them up. You did give a tactile cue to that woman where you're like, hey, ideally she wouldn't hit me. That's a tactile cue. So there is still opportunity there. But would you say your go-to is more verbal?
Yes. That's a big struggle for me. I think just from coaching through COVID, I'm just not used to touching people.
I hear that all the time. Like that's a big thing. Like, hey, we couldn't touch people. We had to be 6 feet away. Okay. Now we have to work through that, right?
I do want to talk about a certain cue that I've heard at least probably 3 or 4 times from the general all the way through the specific now into class is keep that belly tight. What are you looking at that's causing you to give that cue?
So most of the time it's that crash down to the bottom of the squat and that the loss of the midline at the bottom. So I'm just trying to get them to stay engaged rather than just like throwing themselves to the floor.
Right. And the reason I bring it up is because that's one of those cues that gets thrown out a lot. Like,
Yep.
keep
tight.
your belly tight, keep your elbows up, like especially
Yeah,
in a class where you don't have a lot of tactile cueing, where it's just a lot of verbal stuff.
Right.
So just making sure it's not again a grenade that's thrown out there.
Yeah, and in fairness, like ultimately what we have to assess is like, is it working? Right? Like, is it working? But then I would say it's probably working some of the time. So what are some other cues? Like you just said, Christina, well, it's like I'm trying to prevent this, like elbows up might work. Like there's other, plenty of options in there.
Yeah,
But
yeah, elbows up, chest up.
like tight is like a catch-all that people throw out there. Are you leaving us? Do you have to go?
Nope, my kids are just gonna follow me to the car, so you can keep going. Single
job,
mom
Alicia.
life.
Great big jump. Here we go, Carrie. Let's
We
see
can
what
put
you
that
got.
out there. You want people to reach out to you if they're interested?
Stop it.
No? What? You're in the greater Boston area and you found Christina's class entertaining and exciting.
If you give me like 2 minutes, I'll just put it on the scrolling ticker across the bottom of
Put it on
the
the
screen.
ticker. Single, very disease-free. Christina Anderson. Yeah, let's go.
That's better.
Who knew, Cody? This is a love show. This isn't even a coaching show.
Nobody.
This is love at first class. Love at first class. I like
You
it.
never know.
Hey, if you're watching, I don't know who's out there.
If you want to help me pick up my kids from daycare, I'm
If you
here.
want to help. Hey, I like it. While improving your handstand push-ups, yeah.
Right.
The love boat. I like it. The love class, Nick P, maybe? Love class. Shows all the yeah.
There you go. That's better. That's better. Here we go, Bob.
And again, going back to like energy is through the roof. One thing I always watch for as we're doing this is like, would I enjoy this class myself? Would I want to be there? Firm, yes. Like this would be fun. I can't hear the music. Is it 80s? What music are you playing? Is it 80s rock?
No, it's like 90s,
Nice,
2000s,
Heidi. Good big jump. I love it.
like hip hop.
Nice
We can
job.
talk
Still
about
feeling
that later.
okay?
We can.
Take care of your kids. Get the kids to the car. Get the kids to the car.
Okay. It is raining and snowing at the same time.
Mike. Mike, get a little bit further from the wall.
Mike, that's a good cue, right? Get a little further from the wall. Pretty straightforward. Here's the wall. Be a little further away from it. I want to say it's Whitney
There you
Houston
go.
for the
A
record.
little better balance there. Yeah. Here we go, JT. There you go.
Not a DJ. Good point, Nick. Oh, nice. So I think one place we can all improve
That hip, JT.
kipping handstand push-ups is there's a timing factor. And when I see people struggling with the kipping handstand push-ups, it's almost always they're going to begin to push before that hip extension. So something to look for on that. There we go. Now we got that countdown. We got less than 3. The energy should be getting higher.
There you go.
Yeah, Nick. Lots of it. Lots of it.
Solid range of motion, Larissa. Good work. How you feeling? Shoulder okay?
Good checking in, right?
What's going on? Okay. So when you get to
What'd
the
she say to you? Do you
wanna
remember?
take weight off?
So she's been battling something with her back, and so I noticed I get sucked into her until like the end of the workout, but she was like getting emotional. So I changed her really quick. We took weight off the bar, and she just did like a muscle clean with like no impact. And then I looked up and I was like, crap, there was only 1 minute left of the workout.
Shit happens
Yeah.
in class, and without knowing a little more, you're gone. Like, sounds to me like probably the right call. Like,
Now what you're gonna
we all
think
have
about,
emotional breakdowns at time doing CrossFit, and if that felt like the right thing for you to be doing at the time, it probably was. And
but I
so
just wanna take a little
you,
pressure off.
no one here cares. They're all deep into the workout, and you probably, being super cliche, help make this the best hour of her day, right? It could have easily been, this ruined my day. I'm not worthy. Like, I had a bad experience. And you probably made her feel good finishing up and showed her, like, again, from an owner perspective, I'm like, hey, she's going to come back tomorrow now. Where in the past, if I just ignored her, she might have felt dejected and been like, I can't do this thing anymore. My back hurts.
Okay. Stick with that. You're gonna get wicked strong.
Get those wicked strong.
Okay.
In Boston.
You're doing great.
Wicked.
Keep the
You're talking to her still?
Amy, that's it.
Yeah.
Nice job.
And then I think, yeah, right now. Okay,
Here
so
we
now
go,
we,
team.
and then there's
Less
1 minute
than
left.
1 minute
Well, I
remains.
mean,
Less than
it was
1
you were with her
minute.
for less than 2 minutes because I know
Yeah.
you had said 3 minutes and then you said 1 minute, so
Every rep counts.
25% of the workout short, but time and a place. Time and a place.
Yeah.
Back. Nice
Sometimes exactly.
Yeah,
They need that
yeah.
TLC, Corey.
Still 30 seconds.
Cody needs that extra attention. So if anybody wants to contribute to the Cody Fund,
Nice, Heidi. Big thumb.
every dollar counts. Every dollar counts. Cody, let's keep track. Let's see what you earned by the end of this year. You're at $5. P&A is through the
$5 so
roof,
far.
Flow State says. What's your name, Flow State? Who is that?
5.
Mom, I want you to play your phone on bed.
Done.
Does she know that you're trying to get to, find love on this show? Come on.
Stop it. I'm
you know?
sorry.
Don't hold it.
Alrighty, guys.
But she's not even driving.
Excellent work. Right where you're at. Just have a seat. We're just gonna come and do a little.
So we are at
pose. Okay, so everybody go
52
ahead.
minutes. You started this
Down
kind
on
of
your knees.
right at what's up, shorts? You started this right at the
And reach those arms
0
out.
pretty much. So we finished
Get
7
a
minutes
good
to go.
stretch
I
here.
love
Just
it.
hang out there
Because
for a
I mean,
second.
that is literally the time we preach,
Before you
right? Like have 7 minutes left.
Onto
For
the
those of
ground.
you, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, there it is.
Go.
So we're about,
Once you're settled in that child's pose, walk those hands gently over to one side. Get a good stretch down the side of the body.
I'll give you this though.
Good work. Let your heart rate.
I think it might have been a little fast to drop him down into child's pose.
Okay.
You agree, Cody?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was gonna ask why go straight to the cool down without putting the equipment away first
Yeah.
versus waiting till after everything's away and then everybody coming back.
Yeah.
It's just so, it's like, at our gym, it's like, once they clean up, they're like out the door. So it's like,
That's a good point. I take that as an answer because we had a call. It was JR again this morning, and he was like, "Man, once the workout's over, some people just peace out."
Yeah.
Right. And I think part of that is like explaining the value of like stick around, do a couple of these stretches. So I think it's both. Oh, look at Trish is on here. I'm surprised Trish is gracing us with her presence now that she's famous from Savants. I didn't think she still watched our podcast, to be honest with you, Cody. I thought she only watched Savants.
Mom, can I hear money?
So
A good balance is like what happened last week is to have them like take a lap around the gym or walk
Yeah.
down and back and then go into your stretches or your cool down. That gives like just a little bit of a buffer, a 30-second, 1 minute buffer, but it doesn't feel like it's immediately after the workout.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
I
agree.
think putting the equipment away, Cody, is kind of like tricking them into doing that, right? Like,
Yep.
put your equipment away there. It's preventing the people like that woman, blue pant woman, from just sitting there, right? And we're all guilty of it. Miko Salo back in the day says, only sick animals lie on the ground, right? So, and like everybody back in like 2008 was like, I'll never lie on the ground again. I try to force myself to get on the C2 bike as fast as I can, right? But again, time and a place. We were just inverted, and now we're doing, child's pose. So I don't think it's right or wrong.
No, that's valid.
Nice. Kristen.
You getting times
Yes.
or scores, I should say?
Yeah.
I love it.
Nice
And you have a
work.
whiteboard there, you
Pass.
said, right?
Yes.
This is like,
3 plus.
I hope no matter how far
Okay,
CrossFit
nice
goes,
job.
we never lose that. Like scores, a whiteboard, and that, the cool thing is like, I don't care. Don't give me RX. Don't give me this. Just like how many rounds and reps. I don't care what you're like. Some people will complain like, what? Don't worry about them. Do you, boo, right? It doesn't matter. But I love that. That's like old school. And I know Maisley's old school, so I'm sure he's part of that. But like, keep that, that needs to stay. All the, every box with like, to find some other things in the TVs. That's fine. I still think go to Home Depot for $12, buy a cheap shower board. You can, put it up on the wall and put those scores up. That is like the, what's the word I'm looking for, Cody?
Amy.
The
Nice job.
culture of CrossFit.
Heidi. Nice job. Are you finding challenge, Heidi? Is it okay? Katrina. No,
Where are
I know.
all these people who still have bars
I
out?
give you so much credit.
So there was an accessory of 3-position cleans.
So they were
people
waiting?
waiting, and they'll probably, I think they all
When-
did it after.
When you do that, is it like after class accessory?
Yes, it's like optional
Salt shaker.
to
Look at
stay
Robin.
after. Yeah.
Cool. So that's cool. I would say like today is a day like you coach the hell out of that class. If you're gonna have a extra lift in there, no big deal. Like today's a good day to do it. But Robin nailed it, right? There's the salt shaker. Fern talks about it all the time. Like, nope, here's the center. Here's the center. We grab scores. We bring people in. You know, I love it. Good call there, Robin. I'm just waiting for the end of this, but I think we're
Turn this off.
pretty wrapped up. Yeah, I heard you just say so we can turn it off. All right. Cody, what do you think?
We gonna give a score here?
Of course, that's part of the show.
I mean, this is only the second one. I'm just making sure it's still part of the show here.
I mean, this has been, let's just talk about it. Let's see, I mean, great class. $15 came in. $15 came in from Mike.
Has that ever happened?
No, first time. First
I
donation.
still
so
think I deserve like a little credit.
credit, not percentage. Credit, yes. But
He's Jewish.
we'll see next
remember?
week.
He's
We'll see
Jewish.
next week. If it comes in again next week, who's our guest? Oh, we have Kat next week from Ralston
Yep.
Creek CrossFit. Next week's going to be a 30-minute show. We got Kat doing a snatch progression. And then the following 2 weeks, we've got Tony Oxley running a full class. And then on the 16th, we have JR from OV CrossFit running a full class as well.
We got Dennis Lesniak on the 9th.
Oh, I skipped Dennis. Dennis from QDA in Buffalo. So, yeah, we got some full shows coming on. All right, Cody. I know
All
my
right.
number. What do you got?
I'm gonna go 7-2.
That's a good
very
score, Cristina.
precise.
That's
Yeah.
a good score. That's a good
I
score.
appreciate it.
Like last week, Cody, we are 1 decimal off. I had said 7-1.
All right.
I had Christina, but let's go to you. We like to
Yeah.
allow you to give yourself feedback. Watching your class, what would you grade yourself? 0 to 10. 10 is perfection. Like imagine if you saw me coaching a class. That's a 10,
Right.
right? So what would you give yourself and what feedback? And I want to give you a couple of takeaways.
I agree. I would say probably 7. And I think that when I watched it, my biggest feedback for myself was that the big point you guys made of I always went down that right path. And so the left side of the room got really neglected. And then just my lack of other cues other than verbal.
Yeah, I think there's 3 takeaways, and they're pretty much overlapped. And it's one, if we think about the setup of our class, what's going to allow us the best path to walk around in, what's going to allow us the best angle to provide feedback. By doing that, all of a sudden, oh, you want to see that? We got some on film, right, Cody? We got episodes of the knowledge coming out.
We do.
If you're not, we haven't told you guys, subscribe to, are we on YouTube right now? Yeah, we're on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
I'm watching it on the app. On YouTube, subscribe, like, comment. We have 1 like. We have more dollars than likes.
No, we have 7 likes. We have one Facebook like.
Okay. Everybody watching, give us a YouTube like. Please make me feel good about myself. And then also subscribe to the channel. We're doing this every week for you guys. And again, I want to go back and give Cristina a shout out. Balls on Cristina, full class, great audio, all that good stuff. We couldn't do it without people like you, Cristina, doing this. But think about the setup of the class, because ultimately, and again, 90% of the feedback is going to be, I just want to see a little more seeing and correcting. I think for the correcting, the place that you had the most opportunity to improve was the static position of your cleans. So all of those positions, I think you could have A, had more reps going, and then B, just holding them in there a little bit longer. You did a good job with those elbows, but let's talk about the receiving position. You had them in the bottom of the squat, even the setup in that hang position, getting some of the people a little more back on their heels or their butt a little higher. But by doing that, more seeing and correcting. And then ultimately the third piece of that is varying the cues. And this is for everyone. 3, 2, 1, go. I don't expect to see a lot of tactile cues. I don't expect to see that many visual cues. You're going to be more verbal. During the build to that, work on them. So challenge to you going forward, set up the class. Think about every class you coach. How am I going to set it up to get more cues? And then I would challenge you specifically through different portions of the class to use only visual or only tactile. For you, because you said, it's been a while, tactile cues. And, I don't think there's anything wrong with like, hey guys, I'm preparing for my level 4. I got feedback, and one of my pieces of feedback is I need to be more touchy. Just know that. Like, it's like we feel like we need to hide stuff from our members. Like, be transparent. I'm trying to get better. Part of me getting better is I want to improve my arsenal of tactile cues. You guys cool with that? And if someone's like, I don't want to be cool, you'll get verbal or visual cues. Everybody else, cool. Cody, did we get more likes while I said that?
2.
You know what? Trish, give us a like. I know you didn't like it, Trish. Corey, Robin, Nikki Sharp, Mike. I happen to like you. I happen to like Mike Caputo now. Any questions for me or Cody, Cristina, before you take care of those kids? What's your Tinder handle again? Come on, what is it? Coach Cristina? Coach Cristina on Tinder? No. What's your Instagram handle?
Coach Cristina Anderson.
There's an underscore in there.
I think it's Coach_Cristina Anderson.
Cool. Find Cristina on there. Slide into her DMs, people. Slide into those DMs. She's crushing it as a coach. Come on. You're not in Boston, but you're like outside of Boston, right?
Yes, correct.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. Awesome job. Awesome
you.
job. I think you did great. If you improve on those little things, I'd love to see it again. And we'll get you ready for March.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Well, you can hop off of those kids and I'll wrap up with Cody.
All right. Well, thank you very much for the opportunity.
You are very welcome. Thank you.
See you later, Cristina.
All right. Bye.
Perfect.